This movie doesn't show who my father really was. That line has been circulating across fan pages, comment sections, and discussion forums for weeks now. No official source, no confirmed interview, no press statement, and yet it refuses to disappear. Because whether the words are real or not, the reaction behind them feels very real. As Michael, the 2026 biopic based on Michael Jackson's life, moves closer to release, one question keeps growing louder. Where is Bigi Jackson? Not Paris, not Prince. Bigi, the youngest, the quietest, the most distant from Hollywood. And that silence is becoming the most controversial reaction of all. Let's be clear about something. Bigi Jackson has never been a public figure in the traditional sense. He didn't grow up in interviews, he didn't build a brand around his father's name, he didn't chase the spotlight. In fact, for most of his life, Bigi stayed deliberately away from cameras. Which is exactly why people are paying attention now, because when everyone else is reacting, even indirectly, and one person chooses complete distance, the internet starts reading meaning into it. And that's what's happening with Michael 2026. The film has already sparked debates around accuracy, tone, and control. Director Antoine Fuqua has spoken about balance and responsibility. The estate has emphasized respect and legacy. But Bigi? No promotion, no public support, no reaction videos, no statements, nothing. And in today's culture, silence isn't neutral, it's interpreted. Fans have started asking uncomfortable questions. If the film truly captures the real Michael, why isn't the son who lived the most private version of that life anywhere near it? Here's where things get even more interesting. Bigi grew up differently from the public image of Michael Jackson. He didn't experience his father primarily as a global icon. He experienced him as a parent, away from stages, away from headlines, away from the noise. That gives his perspective a different weight. So when fans speculate that Bigi may feel disconnected from the film's portrayal, it's not because of drama, it's because of contrast. A Hollywood biopic shows moments. A child lives the spaces between those moments, and those spaces rarely make it to the screen. Some online discussions suggest that Bigi was aware of early concepts or narrative directions of the film. Again, nothing confirmed, but the theory persists because of what followed. No engagement, no visible alignment, just distance. And distance, especially from someone who avoids attention by nature, feels deliberate. Not aggressive, not confrontational, just withdrawn. Now compare that to how Hollywood usually operates. When a biopic has full family backing, it's loud, support is visible, unity is marketed. But here, the support feels selective. And Bigi's absence stands out more because he's not known for protesting anything publicly. Which leads to the deeper question. Is silence a form of disagreement, or is it simply a refusal to participate in something that feels too exposed? Another angle fans are discussing, and this one is particularly unsettling, is protection. Some believe Bigi's silence isn't criticism of the film, it's protection of his own memory of his father. Because once a film defines a story, it becomes permanent. It replaces memory for millions of people who never lived it. And for someone like Bigi, that could feel invasive. Not wrong, not right, just too final. Then there's the director factor. Antoine Fuqua is a respected filmmaker, but he's also an outsider to the Jackson family's private reality. His job is to tell a story that works cinematically, not one that preserves every emotional truth. That tension is unavoidable, and Bigi, unlike others, has never shown interest in negotiating that tension publicly. So instead of debating it, he stepped away. What makes this situation so powerful is that Bigi hasn't fueled the controversy himself. The internet did. Fans projected, commentators speculated, silence was amplified into meaning, and now, whether Bigi intended it or not, his absence has become part of the conversation, a quiet counterweight to a very loud film. And here's the uncomfortable reality Hollywood doesn't like to admit. Sometimes the most honest reaction isn't praise or criticism, it's refusal. Refusal to endorse, refusal to oppose, refusal to turn memory into spectacle. And that's why this situation feels different. Not explosive, not dramatic, just deeply unsettling. As Michael 2026 approaches release, audiences will judge what they see on screen. but they'll also notice what and who is missing. And Biggie Jackson's silence will remain one of the most talked about reactions to a film he never commented on. Because sometimes, the loudest statement is choosing not to speak at all. If you want the deeper breakdown, how Biggie's silence compares to Paris and Prince, what it could mean for the film's reception, and why this reaction matters more than people think, the full discussion continues on the channel. Because this story isn't just about a movie, it's about who gets to define a legacy and who chooses to step away from it.